Right guys, welcome back to episode 2 of the back training series. Last episode we spoke about the lats, that's going to give you a little bit more width to your physique. Now we're going to be talking about the middle of the back, so that's the rhomboids, the mid traps, the rear delts and the teres major. Let's go through the top 4 exercises that are going to give you that 3D back effect. First exercise, one of my favorites actually, it's the upper back row. So it's a seated row, but we're going to go elbows out. Now this is similar to the seated row with the elbows in. When we go elbows in, as we spoke about in the last video, that's more of your lats. Now by abducting your arms away from your torso, we're going to be targeting more of the upper back across here. That's the mid traps, the rear delts, the rhomboids. One key thing that you need to focus on with this movement is you need to actually be retracting your shoulder blades. If we stay protracted, where your shoulder blades are staying forward, and we row like this, that's going to be predominantly rear delts. We want to actively pull those shoulder blades back, so we're targeting all that upper back musculature. It's important when we're doing this exercise that you keep your shoulders depressed. A lot of people, they'll elevate the shoulders and drop the elbows, so like some sort of flappy pigeon. So we want to make sure that the shoulders stay depressed and the elbows stay elevated, so we're like this. A good alternative to the seated high row is ring rows with the elbows out. So it's the same movement pattern as the seated row, except now we're using your body weight, similar to the way we do with chin-ups. The only thing, if you're doing a body weight row, you need to make sure that you're still retracting your shoulder blades. It's very easy on rows to not retract your shoulder blades and just get lazy with it. We don't want to do that. Or to make it harder, we can even elevate our feet onto a bench or a box. Next, we have the lat pull down. What we actually use is something called the teres major. The teres major actually helps as a synergist to the lats. It was thought at one point the lat pull down would target more of the teres major, but we now know this isn't true. The lat pull down still predominantly works the lats. The teres major is the muscle that's located almost under your armpit, and it gives your upper back a little bit more width and it ties into the lats. So the lats give you the V shape and the teres major sit right underneath your armpits. So this pull down is really great for your upper mid back. On this exercise, unlike in the first episode, we want to really be trying to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades as much as possible to really get that upper back popping. So one really cool tip I try to focus on when I'm doing a pull down is at the top of the movement, I almost imagine my shoulder blades popping out of the sockets at the side. It's a very weird sensation, very hard to describe, but you'll know what I mean. When you get this deep stretch, let the weight pull your shoulder blades out. When your shoulder blades are in this position, your teres major will be in a really good stretch position. Finally, we have rear delts. Now, people argue that rear delts are part of the shoulders, but I like to train rear delts with back because it mimics similar sort of movement patterns as your back training does. Now, there's a few ways that you can train your rear delts. You can train them with dumbbells, you can train them with cables, you can even train them with machines. I personally like cables a little bit more because it gives you constant tension, whereas when you do dumbbells, the tension alleviates a little bit at the bottom, so you're not really stimulating the muscle as effectively as you are when you're doing cables. What you'll notice there as well is I'm actively trying to protract my shoulders. That just means I'm trying to round my shoulders forward like this, and I want to pull from there. I don't want to be retracting too much. We've already worked that retraction aspect on the seated row, on the inverted row, on the pull downs. So now we're trying to isolate the rear delts a little bit more. You're going to be able to isolate them by keeping the shoulders forward like this. That's it for episode 2 of the back training series. Make sure you tune in for episode 3 where we're going to be talking about the traps. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment down below with what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next one.